Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So Manchester United take on Aston Villa. It's a very important match. AFL Cup could be one of our best chances at silverware all season, especially following the Europa League draw where we have Barcelona. Certainly for me, if we won this and finished in the top four, I would call that a pretty successful season. So let's see how United can win this match. So United come into this match in pretty good form. We have won 12 out of our last 16 matches. Of course, last time out, 3-1 loss against Aston Villa. It wasn't good enough. We know that. Personally, I do think that was up there with the Brentford and the City matches as one of our worst performances all season. Definitely was not good enough from Erik ten Hag and from the Manchester United side. United come into this match struggling to score goals. 18 goals scored, 19 conceded in the league. Isn't too much better in the Europa League. Finding the back of the net on a consistent basis has been a real issue for United this season. It is part of the reason why we haven't seen great deals of rotation at the club. Personally, for me, I think United have to go strong in this match. I would expect a couple of changes for us and a couple of changes for Villa, of course. I wouldn't expect to see wholesale changes and a lot of young players thrown into this, but I do expect to see the likes of Alejandro Garnacho play. Perhaps we could see Zidane Iqbal off the bench as well, maybe Kobe Manu as well, should the match be going in our favour. But I do think United will go strong. I expect Villa to go pretty strong as well. Definitely the World Cup break coming up means that both teams will go that little bit stronger because there will be a prolonged break after the weekend's matches. So there's only two matches still to play. There is Aston Villa for us on Thursday night and then Fulham on Sunday. So after those two matches, United break for the World Cup. We don't play again the Boxing Day, so Erik ten Hag has no real obligation to rest players. I don't think I would expect him to do so. So I certainly expect a very strong team from us. Probably our strongest on paper as well. This is how I think we will line up during this match. So for me, I think this is how we're likely to line up. Obviously, the big absentee for this match is Diogo Dalot. He is suspended, of course, so that will require a little bit of a rejig at the back. So I think we'll go for David De Gea in goal. I don't know if Dubravka is going to play. I actually don't really know why we signed Dubravka. Personally, I think we'll see Victor Lindelof at right back. Now, Aaron Wan-Bissaka has played 9 minutes of football all season, so I wouldn't expect him to play. Brandon Williams hasn't had a minute all season. We have seen Victor Lindelof use at right back. He started there one match and he also finished a match at right back as well, so that would probably be the most likely in my opinion. I think we'll see Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez at centre back to deal with Diogo Dalot's loss. I think we'll see Luke Shaw at left back as well. So I think really we are going to build up through that left hand side during this match. Definitely going to be the main avenue of progression. Lindelof, Maguire, Martinez will probably form a back three, with Luke Shaw bombing on as well when in possession. So I think that just makes a lot of sense personally to myself. Moving into midfield, I think we'll go very strong. I'm expecting to see Casemiro in there. I think we'll see Christian Eriksen and we'll see Bruno Fernandes. We really miss Bruno and his running and his effort and the energy that he brings to the game against Aston Villa. Personally, I wouldn't have started Donny van de Beek in that match. I do think Van de Beek and Eriksen, there wasn't enough running between them. There wasn't enough energy and pressing to make that midfield function. I think Fred would have been a more appropriate choice during that match. So I think we will see Bruno Fernandes return to the starting 11. Up front, I expect to see Cristiano Ronaldo and Alejandro Garnacho with Marcus Rashford off that left hand side. We saw certainly at Villa Park, Rashford very, very ineffective coming off the right. His whole game essentially is based around the cutting in. When he cuts in, he can either tee somebody up, he can flick it back to Luke Shaw in the overlap, he can have a shot himself, he can look for a switch, he can look for a cross. That sort of inside left pocket is Marcus Rashford's real sweet spot, if you will. That's where he likes to play football. That is where he's at his most effective. That certainly for me is where he is at his best. So I think we need to see Rashford in that position. Certainly I would have started him there at the weekend. I think with Matty Cash going forward like he did, there could have been an opportunity to get Rashford in behind. So I think that's an opportunity wasted at the weekend. I hope Erik ten Hag has learned from his lesson, and I hope that we go Rashford on that left hand side. Okay, so I'm expecting a strong Villa lineup as well in the light of the World Cup, obviously causing a break in the season. I think Unai Emery will go for this. I think he'll definitely come to Old Trafford with a strong team. So I think Emi Martinez will start in goal, Matty Cash at right back. We'll see the centre half partnership returning of Ezri Konsa and Tyrone Mings. And I think they'll go a little bit different. I think Digne did seem to pick up a little bit of a knock in that last match, so I think Ashley Young's going to start at left back. Moving into midfield, I'm expecting to see Douglas Luiz, Leandro Dendoncker, and Jacob Ramsey as a midfield trio. I think Ollie Watkins will start through the middle. They'll look to use his pace. I'd expect Bailey to play as well, with Emi Buendia off that left hand side. Aston Villa will come to Old Trafford and they will look to counter attack us just like they did at Villa Park. I wouldn't expect too different of a strategy from them. I think that's essentially where they're at. Really, Emery hasn't had a lot of time to work on tactical systems, so I think sitting back, holding back in a low block with Dendoncker, Luiz sitting, using Ramsey and his explosive pace through the middle, looking to find Buendia who can hopefully play it in to Ollie Watkins or Leon Bailey. It's what they did very effectively against us at Villa Park. I think it could work again, of course. Certainly for me, I would worry up with Harry Maguire going up against Ollie Watkins. I feel like this could be a match where Ollie Watkins just spins Harry Maguire. We've seen it done before. By Ollie Watkins, by other players, so it's definitely a possibility. I think one thing that we really have to do is to be more assertive. A lot of times when we were playing Villa at the weekend, we came out and we went for the ball, especially with Victor Lindelof jumping out of the defensive line, and now Lisandro Martinez jumps out of the defensive line all the time. It's his aggressive nature, but when he does, he either wins the ball or he takes a man. You can't just come out of the line, break the formation just to jockey your player and run alongside him. You need to be more assertive, so bring him down, go win that ball, be more dominant. So I feel like that's something we have to watch out for. Obviously, if it's Harry Maguire doing it against Ollie Watkins, I would fear for that, but we just have to hope that we have got the cover in behind with Martinez, and hopefully Casemiro will come that little bit deeper. Personally, for me, stopping Aston Villa playing out of the back is going to be very, very important. We lacked control in the match at Villa Park at the weekend, and a lot of that was to do with the absence of Bruno Fernandes. I feel like with Bruno back on the side, with Bruno back with his energy, his pressing, and his effort, hopefully we can prevent them from playing out with such ease. Key man for me for Aston Villa is going to be Jacob Ramsey. He was absolutely everywhere at the weekend. He only put the ball in his own net as well to start with. He scored and he also got an assist, so a very involved performance from Jacob Ramsey. Age 21, I really do rate Jacob Ramsey as a player. Very, very young, a lot of talent, very technically solid player. This season he has 16 appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists. He averages 0.3 dribbles per game, which isn't exceptional for that sort of attacking midfielder. He does play 0.9 key passes per game, so that is a pass, of course, leading to a shot on goal. He got his assists at the weekend, so we can see just how dangerous Jacob Ramsey can be. He averages 27 passes, a little bit low for a midfielder, but of course Aston Villa not having too much of the ball, 0.7 shots per game as well. So he does get involved attacking wise. He looks to create, he looks to get a shot off, he is explosive, he certainly is a very dynamic player. Very, very good. Personally, for me, I'm very interested to see how he develops. I feel like he genuinely could be a good fit at a top club. I definitely think that he'll be an upgrade on some of the midfielders we have at the club currently. So Jacob Ramsey, probably Aston Villa's danger man. I could have done Leon Bailey as well, but I feel like Jacob Ramsey had the best performance against us at the weekend, and I'm expecting him to carry his good form over into this match should he start. Okay, so when it comes to trying to beat Aston Villa, we've seen good elements of play at the weekend, but we've also seen some very poor elements of play. What we have to do is stop them on the counter attack. That is what their entire game plan will be. Emery hasn't had a chance to bring in his real possession based style of football, even though it is predominantly seen as a negative. It is still an interesting tactical system that he does play. Personally, for me, I would expect a counter attacking Villa. Once again, they will use Leon Bailey and Ollie Watkins in behind, just as they did at Villa Park. So I would definitely be watching out for the counter attack. I feel like for us, what we need to do is hold the ball better, have more control, pass it that little bit quicker, get more movement, and get more shots in at goal. You know, the goal we got at the weekend came from a deflection that easily could have went anywhere realistically. So we actually could have finished the match 3-0 down at the weekend, which just highlights how poor we were. Just more shots off, more quality, and a bit more ruthlessness is what Manchester United need. You know, we're creating big chances. We've seen Ronaldo, he's missed 7 big chances already this season. A little bit unlike him in front of goal, but we need to keep making more chances for whoever's playing through the middle. If it's Anthony Martial, if it's Rashford, if it's Cristiano Ronaldo, we just need that bit more creativity and that bit more ruthlessness in front of goal. Mostly we are very good. Our defence has been very solid apart from at the weekend. Prior to the weekend we were 12 hours without conceding a goal from open play. Obviously we went and conceded 2 in one match, but certainly for me, solid defence, bit more control of the ball, move it that little bit quicker, stretch the game, use your wide men, get them forward. Obviously without Dalot it's going to be an interesting match, but hopefully Luke Shaw will be given complete freedom to get forward. So if we can do that and really start to stretch the match, create a couple of chances, get shots in on goal, I back us to win this match. Yes, guys, so that pretty much is the preview wrapped up. It'll be a very interesting match as always. Eric Ten Hag going for that first trophy. Personally, for me, I think we are going to win this match. I feel like we'll redeem ourselves after our disaster show at the weekend. So I'm going to predict a 2-0 win to United. I think Bruno Fernandes getting back on the score sheet after a match off. He'll come into this match very determined to play well. And I'm going to back Alejandro Garnacho to continue his good form. I feel like if he starts up against Ashley Young, he could have a very good field day, especially the longer the match goes on. Personally, get Garnacho the ball, have him run at Ashley Young for 60-70 minutes. Ashley Young's legs will give out and eventually Garnacho will get in. So I'm going to go 2-0, going to go Bruno Garnacho. Be a tough match as always. We'll have to watch out for them on the break. That's my prediction. We'll go into round 4 of the FL Cup after Christmas, and hopefully we can maybe even try to compete for it, try win a bit of silverware in Eric Ten Hag's first season, something that we haven't done in 5 years, one silverware of any description. So getting that first trophy is going to be absolutely essential, absolutely key to Eric Ten Hag's rebuild. Start building that winning mentality that he's had at Ajax, and if we do that, I'm sure that it won't be long before we're competing for the major honours. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. If you do want to support us, we'll be live after the match as well, doing a live reaction, be on YouTube and TikTok. I'm going to do both this time, and yeah, I'll catch you guys there. Thanks very much for watching as always. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.